Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
For the record, guys, this one might end up behind an age wall. Just a heads up. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'll catch the rest of it later and you can't find it, make sure you're signed into your YouTube or go over to Rumble where we're also live, Jack.
That's true. It's true. We are.
How you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right, other than the fact I just accidentally kicked my cat in the face.
Oh, were you reenacting a video you watched earlier?
No. I was walking out of the bathroom in the hallway. I didn't have the light on, and she's sitting in the dark. And you just can't teach a cat, hey, don't sit in the dark because you are dark, and I can't see you.
They have night vision. They expect you to as well.
I know, right? But I gave her some pets, so we're happy and everything now. But man, she was not happy with me this morning, Jack. I didn't go to bed till about 3 p.m. I was working on stuff, and she was not happy. Every time I came out of my room for whatever it was, she was pacing. I told you guys she likes to put me to bed, and about 6 or 7 a.m., she expects me to go lay down, and ooh, she was not happy. And again, it's not something you can really explain to a cat. You can explain it to them, but unlike crazy cat ladies, I know that they don't actually understand.
They understand. They just ignore you.
They understand a little bit. They don't understand. I'm not going to bed right now because I'm working on something and I'm really motivated. Anyhow.
So you expect them to understand your manic episode?
Basically, yes.
Oh, fair enough.
I was fired up today, Jack. I gotta pick a pair of slippers. I got my Charger slippers, my Deadpool slippers, and my just regular. I'm gonna just wear my regular ones because they're the closest. My feet are cold, Jack. It's freezing in Michigan right now. Good God. Went outside earlier today, and there's a wind out there. It was so cold. Phoebe ran outside, turned around, and ran right back in. It's pretty cold here in Michigan. But anyway, guys, we're going to be watching some body cam footage, and some of it is very disturbing, just so you're aware. We got our body cam footage of Paul Pelosi getting attacked, Jack. And I got to say, it really didn't answer all that many questions for me.
I don't know. I'm fairly indifferent at this point.
I was expecting. I really. It's a very short video. Oddly enough, we're told it's the full video, and it cuts off pretty quickly. But it didn't really answer any questions other than, okay, we can see how they're dressed. We can see that Paul was absolutely attacked by this guy with a hammer. Jesus Christ, man. He fucking goes at him.
Yeah, that was something.
Now, oh, hang on. I need to switch my internets, Jack. I forgot to do that.
Oh, good job.
Problem yet.
Yeah, I didn't hear half of that. So
well, that's because I was switching internets. I was saying it hadn't been a problem yet. I caught it before it was an issue. It would have been better if I caught it before the show, but see, this is the problem with having 3 freaking internets that you're trying to use. Thank you, John Migda. That is what your boiler's for. Oh, well, yeah, it's warm in my house, and I stayed in my house, but Lady Monkey went grocery shopping, and so she usually goes on Saturdays, but we didn't need much, so she just went in town, and so I was helping her bring in groceries.
Oh, sounds awful.
It was awful. It's cold as shit outside, man. I don't like being cold. Now we can skip a good portion of this. All right, yeah, right about there, I'm guessing. So this is the police rolling up on Paul Pelosi's house. Don't worry, guys. You don't actually see anything horrible in this one. You see, how do I put this, Jack? Because you see the attack, but you don't actually see the contact. You don't see the actual violence. You see the the movie violence, I guess is how I would put
Yeah,
it.
it looked like a cutscene in a video game.
Yeah. Fucking said 2620, right? No, 2640. Oh.
Now, at this point, he's already knocked on Pelosi's door, and they're just waiting for Pelosi to answer the door.
Yeah, they're not sure they're at the right house because that's what they were just discussing.
Yeah.
Hi. How you doing?
All right. Here we have Paul Pelosi in his underwear, and I can't tell if that's a nightshirt or if that's a dress shirt that he was wearing.
I don't know. I think it's a night shirt.
That's what I was leaning towards as well. Here's
It
his
is like
attacker.
3 a.m.
Here's his attacker. Not wearing underwear. Well, maybe he's wearing underwear. Fully dressed, actually, with his gun hanging out a little bit.
Yeah.
And this blurry thing right there, that is them fighting over the hammer.
Yeah, it looks like to me what happened is Paul grabbed the hammer at some point, and this guy reached over his arm to grab the top of the hammer. So he's got 2 hands on the hammer, and it looks like they're holding hands, but they're not.
No, they just have the. How did he open the door with a drink in his hand? That is an excellent question, because Paul Pelosi does have a drink in his hand. What kind of drink? I couldn't tell you. Given the time of night and Paul Pelosi, I would imagine it's some kind of cocktail.
I'm guessing an old-fashioned. He looks like an old-fashioned kind of guy.
Some people saw a can. To me, at times, it looks like a glass with maybe a leaf in it. So, what's the one where you put actual mint in the drink? A mint leaf.
Oh, I don't remember. A mint julep?
Yeah, there you go. That was my thought when I saw it.
Nah, he's not Southern enough for that.
You don't know?
I think it's a tumbler, like a drinking glass, and you're seeing reflections from outside on it. So that's why people think it's a can, because it's glass.
Oh, a mojito has it too. Indeed.
Oh, yeah, mojito, yeah.
And yes, Lil Mo says they released the 911 call as well. We have that. We'll check that out in a moment. But okay, guys, the violence is coming up. Again, you don't actually see the violence, but you see the violence.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, man?
Everything's good.
See, he's holding on to.
Drop the hammer.
He's trying to get Paul to release the hammer. He's got his hand on Paul's wrist now.
Yes.
So
He's Fat Man Joe here with his big gut hanging out. He's got one hand at the bottom of the handle of the hammer. His other hand is grabbing Paul's hand, which is at the top of the hammer.
yeah, and a lot of people are saying they're holding hands. I've been in plenty of fights, and this is not what that looks like. He's trying to get his hand off that weapon.
But it also doesn't look at this point like what's about to happen.
Yeah, everything's fairly calm, fairly de-escalated. That's going to change.
Yeah, so it was really weird seeing the juxtaposition of this and then what comes next. Doo-doo.
Nope.
Hey. What is going on right
I'm
now?
not getting an answer on call.
Bro,
All right, and that's as much as we're going to play because they go in and there's blood on the ground with Paul laying there and they tackle the guy. He finally gets it free of Paul and just immediately attacks him with it. Which to this point, I mean, it's not really all that violent. It's like a minor struggle.
Yeah, but unfortunately with crazy people, they could flip on a dime. If this dude was high or just insane, it would make sense that would happen. That's why I think the cops were really thrown, because they didn't have any sense of urgency going into this. There didn't seem to be any kind of real knowledge that this was a violent, crazy person. They were like, drop the hammer, because once they saw the hammer, things were a little different. But then he just completely spazzes out and goes after Paul.
You should show the rest. You can hear Pelosi snoring. I'm not sure that's snoring, man. And I'm not going to show the pool of blood on the ground. That's the real reason we're not showing further than this.
Yeah, well, we'd probably get in trouble for that one.
Yeah. And the only reason I showed this far is because you can't see him actually hit Paul. If there was the actual hit on camera, we wouldn't be watching this right now. But yeah, I mean, this motherfucker clocked him good.
I figured out why they weren't releasing the body cam footage, and if you guys follow me on Twitter, I said why.
Why is that?
That poor cop had to put his hand on that bare ass of that fat guy.
Oh yeah, because his shorts are not. He does not have the best belt.
Yeah. Oh my god, his fat ass is exposed almost immediately, and the cop jumps on him and has to put his hand right on that dude's ass crack. It was, I mean, the sterilization process afterward must have been nightmarish.
Yeah, I believe you also said there was no reason, taking that part out, no reason for this not to have been released. And there's not. There's no reason this wasn't released at the time.
No, other than to protect that cop's poor ego from everyone knowing he put his hand on a fat man's ass crack. There's nothing that did back up what the original police story was.
The only thing that did is that one of these two is the one who opened the door. I'm really not sure how that happened because they both have their hands on the hammer, or Paul with his drink. We can go back. You can see right there. He's holding a drink.
I actually think I know how this happened.
Go ahead.
The fat guy's left arm opened the door and then grabbed the top of the hammer to try and wrestle it away because he probably thought it was Nancy coming to the door.
Let's see. Can we get... No. His hands are both right there.
Oh.
It really does look like somebody else opened this door.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be weird that somebody else was there and not.
I mean, it's really hard to tell, but neither one of them have their hand near that door, which would back up the original police statement that an unknown person opened that door.
Yeah, the cops probably couldn't tell who opened it either.
So I don't know who opened that door. Maybe the real tell here is that Paul's real lover was in the house. I don't want to start any conspiracy theories, but maybe, I mean, we see they got the maybe it's a home thing and they got a really fancy door and he said open the door. I don't know.
I suppose Alexa's a possibility for the third person there. Or
What I can tell you,
police opened it.
Neither one of those two opened that door.
I would have a hard time figuring that out, quite honestly. Real quick, thank you, John. So Boogie attacked him. I'm not ruling anything out.
Somebody just said, oh, God damn it, why is that on there? I don't want to copy the... Whoa, I did not mean to show all that. Anyway, somebody said maybe there's a table next to the door and he grabbed the drink after he opened it. I would give you that, but like right here, Paul Pelosi's arm is not in this. So maybe he grabbed it and flung it open, but as slow as it opens up, that does not open like somebody, grabbed the door handle and flung it open real fast, like you would do if you were opening it and then grabbing something real fast. Somebody else opened that fucking door. That, or it is an automatic door, and he's like, Alexa, open the door. I'm just saying. And it's beside the point, honestly, because we find out what we needed to find out. This fat guy really did attack Paul Pelosi with a hammer. Now, the weird part comes in when we start listening to the 911 tape, because that was just weird. Well,
I think in context, it makes a little more sense now. Detective Butters is on the case.
Yeah, it really does. Damn it, Monk. Alexa just told me the door can't do that. Sorry about that. Alexa, tune into Ranting Monkey on YouTube. Is that wrong? Is that the wrong thing to do?
No, the wrong thing would be Alexa, order one of Jack's books.
Jack who? All right. Do we want to listen to the 911 tape or just drop it for the folks here?
I don't care.
Well, I'm asking which is the smarter way to go, because it's kind of long.
Like we got kind of a lot to cover today.
All right, here is we're going to throw if you guys want to see the full video, and it's not actually the full video. It cuts off well before the police leave or anything, and the camera's clearly still running, but the important parts have been shown. Although, again, I'm sorry, I'm saying there was somebody else in the house, and I don't know why they're hiding that. You know what I mean? Because if he got up and turns around and starts talking to people, and somebody else opened that goddamn door. I'm just saying. Now the other one is, this is where I listen to the call. I will throw it into chat for you guys. There you go. The important part is we get to hear the conversation where it's actually not Paul Pelosi who says this guy's a friend. That's how it had been reported, that Paul Pelosi said the guy was a friend. It's not the other guy. He claims that he's a friend, and Paul's kind of like, he says he's a friend, but I don't know him. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Hey, before you go any further, could you pin Dangerous's comment up? So he dropped our Streamlabs links.
Oh, yeah. Da-da-da. Oh, that was going to get us in trouble? Fuck. So we can replace the hammer one of our friends borrowed? That's going to get us in trouble, dude.
What's this Wii stuff? I'm just
That's
some
right.
random person they think is another one of your voices, I guess.
It's still funny. And we don't live near San Francisco. It wasn't us, guys. All right. Moving along.
Spud wanted you to know that another Eliza Blue music video has dropped. This one from 9 years ago, and it's in your DMs.
All right, I will check it out. The other ones, man. Oh, God, I was deep diving on Elijah today, man. Eliza.
I love penis jokes right there.
Not in that manner. Not in that manner. I am seriously considering. I have a whole bunch of stuff laid out where if I get the time, there will be an Eliza video. Here's the amazing part about the Eliza story, right? We know she did at least 3 videos, and apparently now there's 4. Of the 3 that we knew about, 2 of them were from when she supposedly was a hooker. I'm sorry, a human trafficking victim. One was from after it, by her own admission. She says she left the life in 2013. Summer of 2013. Summer's important there, because that means the other 2 were when she was being trafficked. The only one that wasn't from when she was trafficked, according to her timeline, is the World Star hip hop video. And that's the only one she took down. The only one she took down is from when she was no longer being trafficked, by her own timeline. Interesting, ain't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
That kind of makes it bullshit is the word I was looking for. Bullshit is
sounds right.
Oh shit, did I close the other?
Real
no,
quick.
Okay, got it.
Thank you, Nancy Pelosi. I admit it was Jim Jones that opened the door. Yeah, that's a possibility. That explains the drink then too.
Okay, Jack. This is a story we didn't talk about. And the reason we didn't talk about it is because it's one of those cases where I wanted to know more before we discussed it. Tyre Nichols. Oh, man, this was bad. I saw the story going around a couple of days ago, right?
Uh-huh.
And what really interested me is this guy supposedly routine traffic stop, and somehow he ended up looking like this. This is how he looked before he died. His eye is clearly swollen. He's got bruises on his fucking forehead. And it's like, shit, here we go again. They released the body cam footage today, and not just the body cam footage, the police overhead cam footage. Guys, you know, me and Jack, we've often been like, yeah, the police were right on this. The police did the right thing. What happened here was disgusting.
Yeah, there's nothing good is going to come out of this.
No, we actually have riots going on right now. Well, they're not riots yet. We have marches going on right now.
I'm keeping an eye on the protest footage, and already there's people flashing lights and cameras and getting ready for the aftermath of a protest.
Yeah.
Protest season's early this year. Woo!
It is. And we've actually started seeing this get pushed a little bit. Biden even said that people need to protest in the street.
Yeah.
Just peacefully protest. When he says peacefully, that actually apparently has some meaning. When Trump said peacefully, not so much.
That's a dog whistle to
That's
white
a dog
supremacy.
whistle. We're gonna watch a news story on this. And I tell you guys, this is not easy to watch. And we're gonna be watching one of the less violent views of this. This is the overhead cam we're gonna be watching. It's from a news station. They had this poor motherfucker watch this live for the first time on air. Like, why would you do that? And he keeps going, oh my God, oh wow, holy crap. Yeah. So here's the thing. Tyre gets pulled over. He's arguing with the cops when they pull him out of the car, and there's a scuffle there. And then he runs away. And then they catch up with his ass. Thank you, JB. This reminds me of a question I was asked when it's okay to run from cops. Best could come up with is if they know they mean ill will, like murder towards you, have to jack. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you.
Thanks, JB.
I don't know that it's ever a smart idea to run from cops. I really don't. I don't know how you know unless they say, I'm going to kill you, and they have the gun pointed at you. And at that point, running away ain't going to do you no good anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they could just shoot
Yeah.
in the back anyway if they really want to kill you. Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. Oh, boy, I can't wait for another summer of love. Monk, check your labs.
Oh, I didn't get my alert. Thank you so much for that, Streamlabs. God damn it. We're going to have one of those nights, Jack. Where my labs. Thank you, Keldrick. Did you guys hear about Corey Mills allegedly handing out dud grenades in Congress? No, I didn't.
Yeah, I saw that. They got they're deactivated noob tube grenades, and there's some sort of souvenir thing.
Now look,
it's just dumb.
Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I was saying it was dumb.
The footage we're going to see, I don't care what else happened and stuff. This is uncalled for. What we're about to watch is, I don't even know how to describe it, man. It's a gang beatdown. All right, we're not going to listen to the volume because in this one, the footage itself has no volume, and all you would be hearing is the reporter talking over it. And instead, you're going to hear us talking over it. This is a cop cam, I think is what they call them. They're around,
like street cameras that they put around the ghetto.
Yeah, they're around the city, and this was caught on it. There's actual body cam footage from the police while this is going on. But that's him on the ground there. And homie's going to walk up and kick him in the face. This is a gang beatdown.
Yeah,
like, nah, man, he was just being too aggressive with him, so he kicked him in the face to try to stop him from moving around. All right, line up, go ahead.
They were having trouble getting handcuffs on him, so I don't know if they're really bad at their job or if he was high on some drugs. But They took this way too far.
Wait for it. And kick him in the face. Now, even if you can excuse those two, even if you can excuse that, the rest of this cannot be excused. I'm sorry, it just can't be. They start dragging him kind of to his feet. He is fighting back there, Jack.
Mm-hmm. All right, now the cop with the baton there, he accidentally maced himself earlier. He went to pepper spray the guy, and some of it blew back in his face, and he was all pissed off about that. Because his body cam is the footage that got released from the other angle.
They are holding him in place, standing up, just punching him in the face right now. The dude clearly is out of it at this point. If this was a boxing match, the ref would have stepped in.
Oh, long time ago, yeah. At this point, anything they had done previous to the kick, you could say was adrenaline because they chased him. You could probably excuse a lot of that away, but as soon as they kick him in the face, everything after that, no, there's no reason for.
Now, before anybody comes in here with your racial bullshit, these were black cops on a black suspect.
Yep.
All right.
All 5 cops were black. Suspects black. The cars are black. It's nighttime. There's a lot of blackness here. No white people at all. Not till much later in the footage.
Yeah, this is not a racial incident.
No. And they're trying so hard to make it out to be a racial thing.
There's nothing to do with race. This is bad cops who went way too far.
And they look like they've done this before.
Yeah, this ain't a first time kind of thing. All right, that's enough of this shit. I don't want to watch it all again. If you are interested, this is the NBC News footage, the one that I watched, and like I said, if you watch it, this poor bastard who's watching it for the first time live on the air, trying to give commentary for it, that was a fucked up thing to do to this poor guy.
Yeah, that was fucking disgusting.
Hey, you want to watch this beat down live and give your reaction?
You know what? I've been to Memphis a couple times. I hate the place. The city's filthy, and their cops have a reputation for being kind of corrupt. This is not going to help at all. If anything, the DOJ should probably have been looking at the Memphis police about 20 years ago, because this might have been able to be avoided, because their hiring practices are pretty much warm body syndrome. And I know people are joking about like internalized white supremacy and all that. CNN actually had a piece out on that.
Igloo says definitely climate change. Yeah, this is the after effect. Yeah, I can't be on the police side on this one. Sorry. What I saw there, that it's a gang beatdown, and I don't mean to keep repeating that, but that's what it is.
I have a donation here from the Memphis police.
Wow.
It was just a beat into gang. Yeah, they were just recruiting the guy. See?
Yeah.
You know, that's why you don't run from the cops. Just take your ticket or whatever and move on with your life.
Yep.
You might not get murdered by a gang of psychos then. Also,
no, before you move on, sorry about that, but you're absolutely right there. Don't run from the police. Just follow instructions and you'll be fine most of the time.
Yeah, now you can sue them later and not be dead.
Yeah. Still does not justify what we saw there.
Oh, absolutely not. Nothing justifies this brutality.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. Did you guys hear some areas in China have been running out of coffins? I did hear about that. They've been doing that for a little while now. But of course, since they stopped recording deaths, no one has died. Also, tell Monkey to check his money hole.
They had a problem with that going back to the original strain coming out. They were just doing mass graves there for a while. We don't talk about that, but we saw them. We saw them dig them.
Yeah.
But no, they only had 90,000. Who was that from?
Evolved Potato.
I don't have one. Let me refresh again. Hang on, Evolved. My Streamlabs is being a jackass. Yeah, I don't have one from you, dude. Last one I have from you is at 3 a.m. yesterday. Give it a minute. Maybe it'll come through. This happens sometimes with StreamYard. Sorry about that. Still blaming the whites. Yeah, I haven't seen the CNN bullshit about it, but I'm not shocked. A lot of what I've seen about this is they're trying to make it racial. There's no racial component here. You had 5 black cops beat the shit out of a black kid. Or black man. I don't know how old he was. I know I've seen it in one of the articles, but it's not something my brain held on to.
Yeah, I just know he was a father. His mom looks like she's about 60, so I'm guessing he was probably under 40.
Yeah, see, it's shit like this why I don't like when Antifa makes me root for the cops beating their asses.
Yeah, well, I'm always for Antifa getting a beat down.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, these guys absolutely should be charged with murder.
Yep. They were all fired.
Yeah, they've all been fired. They've all been charged. 2 of them are out on bond.
And yeah, so people are going to try to do the same racial bullshit as always. If you're in a major city and you have a Target, I would stay away from it for a few days.
Yeah. At CVS and Rite Aid and pretty much any other kind of pharmacy type area. They seem to really like burning those down.
You can hate Antifa and the cops at the same time. I hear you, Dr. Cringe, but my point being, when I see Antifa being shitheads and throwing fireworks at the cops and worse, hitting them in the head with baseball bats, I really do root for the cops to just shoot them all of them in the nuts with a pepper ball. They just aim for it. I don't give a shit. Fuck those guys. And I don't like being that because I don't want to be rooting for the cops because a lot of the times we see what we see right there, where these cops are clearly out of fucking line.
Yeah, but they got fired pretty quickly and charged with murder. Let the system do its job. They're going to go to jail. They have all this on video. These assholes are going to get thrown in a scary, scary prison, and cops don't do well in prison.
They lifted this motherfucker up and punched him in the face repeatedly.
Yeah, these guys are psychos, and this is what happens when you lower your standards for police departments.
Yep. So fuck these guys. I hope they go to prison and enjoy their stay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Evolve told me to say, wait to read this part. I didn't donate. I just thought it'd be funny.
Ah, there you go. With what we're seeing right now, the footage that I saw of the protesting going on right now, I didn't see Black Bloc in there, Jack, which is a good thing.
I see them over at Los Angeles. There's a bunch of them in LA and some in New York.
Oh, excuse me.
But
they'll come.
Yeah, haven't seen them in Memphis yet.
They'll come. And Memphis will get burned down, and Portland will get burned down again, because of course it will. But not seeing them yet is a good thing. This was released late enough in the day that they couldn't get themselves all riled up. But look for them to be rioting over the next couple of days.
Well, it's not like they have jobs to go to, so.
That's not to say BLM can't cause violence. We've seen quite a bit of it from them, but Black Bloc's the one that really starts burning shit down. BLM tends to just loot. Remember when they went through and looted that fucking strip mall? And they cleaned out the one phone place. They cleaned out the beauty salon. They cleaned out the Target. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's like an entire strip mall got looted.
If you're near a retail space in these areas, you might want to duck and run or duck and cover. But otherwise, if you're near a trash can, you're safe for Probably another 24 hours. When you start seeing the trash cans burn, that's when you know the real violence is going to come. How did it escalate to that level? How did what escalate to which level? Are you talking
I'm
about
assuming the beatdown.
Are you talking about the beatdown or the breaking into phone stores? And by the way, guys, we are brought to you by you. Hit the like button, the share button if you would. Please donate to Jack or myself. Link is at the top of your chat. The beatdown itself, from what we see, because they pull him over, right, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
And then they decide they have to take him out of the car. And he's fighting them as they're taking him out of the car. And then he runs away, which not a real good idea because your car is still there. What were you trying to accomplish with that? But when they pull him out of the car, there is a scuffle. And should we watch the TMZ footage, Jack? Let's watch the TMZ footage. These are the police standing around after. Is this after the full thing, or is this just after he takes off?
No, this is the completed. Like the guys in the car, like they're done. It's all wrapped up. They're
all
talking to the other cops that responded.
Okay. Well, I know after he runs away from them, there's cops standing around talking too. One of them is getting water for the other one. One is asking where his glass. Where the fuck did my glasses go? Should probably get one of those
after the entire thing's over.
Should probably get one of those straps like they have in nerds and basketball, so your glasses don't go flying, homie. Just saying. I think this is as loud as we can get it, and it's still kind of quiet. We can go up a little tiny bit. There we go. That part was loud.
Everybody got sprayed. I sprayed, he sprayed, he'll tase, he jumped up, just tase.
Now, what he said is, I sprayed, he sprayed, and got the tase. They're talking about how much they did to try to stop the guy.
Then he was going, he pulled a dog. Then he was going from a gun too. So I'm like, he grabbed Mark gun on the scene. Everybody was on. That's long as I'd have been in a minute.
Now, this part they're not clear on when he supposedly reached for the gun. If you're talking about during the beatdown, he could barely move his fucking arms. What are you talking about? If you're talking about previously, if you're talking about when he first got away from you guys, maybe it's really hard to tell what happened in the footage there.
I think I can explain this. They thought they were arresting Charles Xavier, and he was using his psychic powers to go for their guns.
Or Magneto to actually, pull it out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
You got some in his back pocket. My wallet.
Man, listen. I ain't even look. We got him out the car. We was like, hey, bro, you good? Motherfucker swung. Wow, almost hit me. He reached for Mark gun. When he slammed to the car, he was on there. He literally had his hand on Mark gun. Like, that motherfucker was on there.
Fuck me, man.
I don't know what that man. And he's strong.
He's strong as a motherfucker.
Mind that motherfucker so bad.
Hold it on the side.
So there you go. Before, when they got him out of the car, he swung and reached for the gun. Yeah, they're going to make me watch the whole footage again, Jack. Anyhow, even if he had, that does not justify the beatdown you got him when he's on the ground there like that, and you pick his ass up to beat him more.
No, that was when he sprung up, monkey. It was like a wind-up Jack in the Box, and he just sprang right up. They're like, oh, shit. So they had to take turns punching him a bunch of times in the face to disorient him.
Again, as a fan of the sweet science, I've seen people's legs like that. He did not have legs under him when they picked him up. I get what you're joking there, but no. His legs weren't there. They weren't there. When they picked him up to beat the hell out of him that final time there, that's bullshit, man. That's just fucking bullshit. He was unconscious on his feet. Out on your feet is the term that they use for it.
There's absolutely no reason these guys shouldn't be immediately convicted.
No,
these smart. They take plea deals, but they probably aren't.
Take a plea deal for some special treatment, and because cops don't generally go into Gen Pop.
Yeah.
Take some plea deal and ride it out, man, because you guys done fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
I believe Tennessee is a death penalty state too. So.
ooh, did you read this CNN article? I have not. If somebody has it, yeah, toss it to me. We'll check it out.
Pretty sure it's in the hashtag.
Yeah, the hashtag. Give me a second. The hashtag, guys, is MITAM. We still do check it out. I used instead of hashtag, I used $. $sign MATM, bitches.
Oh, you send it to Cash App?
Yes. That's a Medium article from our good friend.
I already got that one.
City Journal, Jack Posobiec, Whitmer. Oh God, Whitmer. She did her State of the State address the other day.
I'm pretty sure Danger Spaces put it on there.
Oh, here we go. This must be it.
Yeah, Tennessee is a death penalty state, so they might go for the frying.
Whoopsie. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah.
Here's an idea. Don't kill people.
Dangerous put it in chat. Thanks, man.
Yeah, this is the
They
same one.
set Portland on fire. There's still buildings, so I mean, Antifa's pretty dumb. They'll burn anything.
MITAM is a stock now. No, it's a Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin. Remember, you can invest in the Bitcoin by giving me money. You don't get anything for it. You don't get any coin or anything, but I do.
There's no actual tokens.
Yeah, there's no actual token. Well, you don't know that. I might make some with construction paper with me and Little Butt someday, but you won't get any. That's the important part. I got to make sure I'm not defrauding anybody like Jake Paul or all of those people. Yeah. Opinion: the police who killed Tyre Nichols were black, but they might still have been driven by racism because, of course. Oh, this is from Van Jones. Jesus.
Of course it is. That dude, man. I swear that guy just hates white people. Like with a passion, like on a Tariq Nasheed level of hating whitey.
I think he just hates people.
Yeah, probably.
I hear what you're saying, but I think he just hates people. All right. Editor's note: Van Jones is a CNN host, political commentator, and founder of Dream.org, a national nonprofit dedicated to criminal justice reform. The views expressed in this commentary are his own. Note: on Friday evening, City of Memphis released graphic footage of Tyre Nichols' arrest to the public. Nichols died 3 days after his arrest. I think it's fair to say he died that night.
Yeah, he was probably brain dead.
He was just a vegetable. Oh my God, did you see Donovan? Oh fuck, what's his last name? That crippled guy who argues with Ricky Berwick all the time.
That narrows it down.
No, he's like really fucked up. Donovan, what's his name, guys?
Crip Daddy?
Crip Daddy, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sad I know that. And I know that because of you.
He said on Twitter that some MMA fighter challenged him to a fight and then backed out when he accepted. He said, that must mean he's a child because he's afraid of his vegetables. I'm paraphrasing. I have it mostly right, but it was funny as shit. And somebody got all offended at him for it. Like, you can't get offended at him for calling himself a vegetable, dickhead. Anyhow, 3 decades ago, when 4 white Los Angeles police officers were videotaped beating Rodney King, the public outcry was heard around the world. In fact, I got arrested for the first time in my life during protests that followed. All right. There were some protests, and then there was a lot of violent rioting. Which part were you, Van? Which part were you? Did you steal a stereo that day? Did you? Be honest. And I subsequently dedicated my career as a lawyer to helping sue rogue cops, close prisons, and reform the criminal. Wait, close prisons? That doesn't seem like a good idea. Look, I don't think private prisons should be a thing. I really don't. That is a matter of public interest. It should be a public institution kind of thing.
Yeah, and there needs to be oversight
Yes.
regardless. But private prisons, that's a recipe for a disaster.
Otherwise, shutting down prisons is a dumbass idea. What are you going to do with the bad people?
They're only bad because they were forced to be bad, Monkey. They just wanted the bread.
They just needed bread. Yeah. Fucking AOC. They're only rioting and stealing shit to get bread. Bitch, that's a watch. That's a TV. That dude's got a computer. Oh, look, a whole bunch of... Remember when they robbed the Nike store?
Yeah, that was for the bread.
Came out with fucking stacks of Nikes. Yeah, it's just for the bread. Unless you're talking about the old slang of bread for cash and they were going to sell those shoes, it was not for the bread. How many of you in chat know bread was a slang for cash? Damn youngins. Anyway, sorry, close prisons and reform the criminal justice system. It was a defining moment for the nation and the world. It really wasn't. What happened to King was horrifying, but at least he survived the ordeal. Tyre Nichols tragically did not survive his. 29-year-old, there we go. I told you guys earlier I could not remember his age. 29-year-old black man died earlier this month after a police traffic stop and a violent arrest in Memphis, Tennessee. According to the preliminary results of the autopsy commissioned by attorneys for Nichols' family, he suffered extensive bleeding caused by a severe beating. I feel like you didn't really need an autopsy for that. I could have told you what he died from. Blunt force trauma. On Friday, Nichols' mother, Ro Vaughn Wells, told CNN, "It's still like a nightmare." I can't imagine what that poor woman's going through. Seriously. Now the whole world gets to watch her son get beat to death over and over again. And by police officers, it's not even like it was a proper gang kind of thing. I mean, that would be hard enough, but this was the cops beating your kid to death. Since the news of Nichols' death was made known, the world has been holding its collective breath in anticipation of the release of the video that captured the violent assault and the possibility of a new outpouring of protest spilling into the streets across the country. The video is expected to be released Friday evening. All right, at this point, I just want to point out, Van doesn't know what actually happened. Look, I didn't talk about this, Jack, because we didn't know.
Yeah.
I can look at the picture of him laying there and going, yeah, somebody beat this man to death. But you are a news person. You shouldn't be... fair enough. You shouldn't be making these leaps. 5 former Memphis police officers fired for their alleged actions during Nichols' arrest have now been indicted on charges including kidnapping and murder. On Friday, Memphis Police Chief Saralyn C.J. Davis told CNN, "I was in law enforcement during the Rodney King incident and is very much aligned with the same type of behavior. I would say it's about the same, if not worse. It's definitely worse."
It's absolutely worse.
A lot of Rodney King's movements were still him trying to get up. That doesn't make it good that they beat him. I don't really want to go back through the Rodney King thing.
No, it's not worth revisiting. It's been, 30 years now?
This guy had to be held up so they could punch him in the face over and over.
Yeah.
On Thursday, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations Director David Roush described being sickened by what I saw. I feel you, homie. By all accounts, Nichols was a good guy. 145 pounds. That dude only weighed 145 pounds. Wow. Because some of them cops is big boys. Wow. 145-pound skateboarder, an Instagram photographer, a Starbucks aficionado. Learning that your child's life was senselessly stolen from him is...
Look, hang on.
Yeah.
Telling me he's a skateboarder and a Starbucks aficionado. Don't try and make me hate the guy. He's still the victim.
Hey, Instagram photographer, dude. I mean,
I know. Like, you're
That's
trying to
3 for
spear him.
3.
He's dead. Leave him alone.
Learning that your child's life was senselessly stolen from him is every black parent's nightmare. That's not a racial thing, homie.
Yeah, that every parent worries their kid's gonna get killed, isn't that? I mean, white parents do that too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll keep you
Oh,
up
as
at
I need
night
to call my parents right now and be like, "What the fuck?"
the whole time. Like anytime they're out of your direct control, and even sometimes when they are, they're in your house playing outside, kind of thing. Yeah, this is a worry for everybody. Why you make that racial, you piece of shit? He
'Cause
didn't
he's a
even
race.
specify.
He's a race hustler.
He didn't even specify there, by police. That stupid ass line they gave us back in 2020.
Well,
No,
he's always struck me as the kind of guy that thinks the Klan's still around.
Van Jones, you're such a cocksucker.
Yeah.
But surprisingly to many people, the 5 officers charged with viciously beating him were also black. No, dude. If you pay attention, it's a cop thing. I don't understand why I do, because it's the race hustle. But I don't understand why people fall for it with so much evidence that, bad cops come in every color.
That doesn't matter because they have a narrative to push, and the media will do everything they can to spin it with the white supremacy angle. Like, we
Bad
didn't even
cops.
know these cops were black for a little while.
Right,
So-
because they sure as fuck didn't tell us.
Oh, why would they want to do that? They could make it about race then and get everybody's rage ginned up.
Jack, I learned that the cops were black about 20 minutes before the show.
Yeah,
And I've been following this story.
it's how they play this sick game of division. They want everybody to hate each other, that lose trust in organizations that are supposed to be serving the people, and then they could tear it down and restructure it how they want with their commie utopia ideas.
For the record, bad cops come in all colors, and they don't care who the fuck the victim is. They don't care if they're black, white, Chinese, Mexican. They don't give a shit. They're bad cops. Do you understand what that means, dickhead?
Yeah, it's part of the human condition. Some people don't have the temperament for it, and some people are just evil. Doesn't
This
matter what their
isn't Mississippi
melanin is.
burning.
That's what they want it to be, though. I mean, look at BLMs out there waving their flag around.
How do we? Go ahead.
This is a group of psychos that were doing something bad that shouldn't have had these jobs.
Yes.
Be put in positions of power. It's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with the victim being black.
Well, the problem for the race hustlers here is that they are black cops. If they were white cops, they would have jizzed themselves over it.
Oh, absolutely.
So now they do. They have to paint this narrative that, look, just because they're black cops doesn't mean it's not a racial thing. Sure, why not? How do we explain Nichols' horrific killing allegedly at the hands of police who look like him? Maybe, and I'm throwing this out there, black people aren't the fucking board, you idiot.
Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't help the narrative. That doesn't help the race hustle.
From the King beating to the murder nearly 3 years ago of George Floyd, America's society has often focused on the race of the officers. No. American media has done that. So often white as a factor in their deplorable acts of violence. But the narrative white cop kills unarmed black man should never have been the sole lens through which we attempted to understand police abuse and misconduct. It's time to move to a more nuanced discussion on the way the police violence endangers black lives. All right. As I asked Hunter last night, who's more likely to be killed in a police stop? Whites or blacks? Unarmed or armed? Who? Do you know?
Statistically,
Statistically,
whites, there's more of them.
white people. No, this is stops, not base population. Stops.
Yeah, no, I mean percentage-wise, the greater population is likely to experience more of anything.
But that's why you look at it based on police stops rather than the population as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
More when you look at just the stops, forget the whole population. White people are more likely to be shot than black people. It's I forget the exact numbers, but yeah, more when black people are stopped, there's a better chance that they're going to live from the stop. White people, and this isn't based on population at all. I get what you're saying with that, but it has nothing to do with it. This is just that. It's why you look at just the stops, because if you're looking at it based on the population as a whole, black people are more likely to get shot because they're very close to each other in number, and the populations are so far off. It's like, see, they're killing more black people. They're not. When it comes to police interaction, when white people interact with police versus when black people interact with police, white people are more likely to get shot. The only reason we have this narrative here is because they've been lying to us for fucking ever in the news. And you know who likes to do that? People like Van.
Race hustlers.
Yes, exactly. Black people are not immune to anti-black messages. Wow. One of the sad facts about anti-black racism is that black people ourselves are not immune to its pernicious effects. Society's message that black people are inferior, unworthy, and dangerous is pervasive.
Among race hustlers.
No shit. Over many decades, numerous experiments have shown that these ideas can infiltrate black minds as well as whites. Self-hatred is a real thing. I hate my gums because they black. Most of all, I hate that black ass Wesley Snipes.
Everybody loves Wesley Snipes. What you talk about?
Give me a 1 in chat if you know where that quote's from.
That's from one of your stupid movies, isn't it?
It is. It is. That's why a black store owner must regard customers of his same race with suspicion while treating his. What's that? Sorry, it says might. I said must.
Oh, I was going to say must. What?
Right. While treating his white patrons with deference, black people can harbor anti-black sentiments and can act. No. I'm sorry. No, I can't. Let's back up. Store owners, and especially black store owners, or in this case, because that's what he's talking about, are going to be more suspicious of the people who have done them the most harm. You go into, I guarantee you, homie, you go into a nice, or go into a bodega, a convenience store, whatever. You're dressed in a 3-piece suit and you got yourself on a raincoat. They're going to be like, oh, hi, how are you? You go in there in that same thing and you're wearing that same raincoat, but underneath it, you have on a hoodie with West Coast across the middle of it, and you're wearing baggy pants that are hanging underneath your ass. They're going to keep an eye on you. And it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. That same person, white or black, is going to be treated the same way in those two situations. Because in one, you look like a businessman who's just there to pick up a candy bar and pay for your gas. In the other, it looks like you're probably going to steal from them.
You want to get eyeballed in the suburbs, wear Ed Hardy gear. They'll be like, this dude's from a time warp. Keep an eye on him.
We used to get, there was a little Korean store that we went to. Actually, it was Filipino, sorry. Little Filipino store in Virginia. No, Norfolk. God damn. Filipino store in Norfolk. And they used to watch us like hawks. Not because we were white, but because it was summertime and we were all wearing black trench coats.
They're like, this not school. You go shoot somewhere else.
Right? It was just a fad at the time and we were wearing it. So they were like, that dude's wearing a trench coat in summer. Keep an eye on him. I've seen Beverly Hills Cop 2. That's a good pop culture reference.
Is
I'm
it?
I'm up on my pop culture references.
You are hip with the kids.
I'm
No
hip with the
cap,
kids, indeed.
yo.
That's why, oh, we already read that. Black cops are often socialized in police departments that view certain neighborhoods as war zones.
Some neighborhoods are war zones.
I was about to, you're talking about the ones that are
I've been through the ghetto, and it can be scary at times.
in the ghetto.
Not because of the color of the people there, but because they're armed.
In those departments, few officers get disciplined for dishing out street justice in certain precincts, often populated by black, brown, or low-income people, where there's a tacit understanding that the rule book simply doesn't apply.
Is he watching too many like Dirty Harry movies?
I think he's been watching like The Shield.
I guess so, because that sounds like a load of crap from a TV show. More likely what's happening is the cops just don't go to those areas because they're like, we're going to just get in trouble if we arrest anyone here.
Cops of all colors, including black police officers, internalize those messages and sometimes act on them. In fact, in black neighborhoods, the phenomenon of brutal black cops singling out young black men for abuse is nothing new. Black cops showing out for the white cop. Homie's been listening to Fuck the Police. Back in 1960, or sorry, that's 89, right? Yeah, back in 1989. Oh yeah, he's about to mention it. Back in 1989, the rap group NWA highlighted the problem in the classic hip hop anthem in which Ice Cube rapped, "But don't let it be black and white cop, because they'll slam you down to the street top. Black cop showing out for the white cop." Told you he was listening to NWA. I didn't even read that part. I'm psychic, Jack. Thank you, Corey.
Predictable.
Lower income, they can't say poor white people. No, they can't.
No, they
Frosted
don't talk
Glass.
about the trailer parks that are overrun with meth and crime.
Frosted Glass, thank you. Watching The Shield, at least someone is. Indeed. Yeah, man, this is okay. I can't read the rest of this. This is nonsense. This dude, I'm sorry, with your Ivy League upbringing and shit, you don't know shit about the street. Shut up, bitch. You go down there every so often so you can say that you've been there for your little CNN interviews. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what it's like. You literally got your street training from a 1989 song.
Yeah, that dude doesn't ever go to the ghetto. What are you talking about?
You couldn't even at least bring up the scene in Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood? I mean, come on, man. Anyhow, fuck CNN and their stupid race baiting bullshit. All right, let's see. Did I have anything else I wanted to talk about tonight? We're just gonna throw this out there real quick. Federal perjury case against Baltimore's former top prosecutor Marilyn Mosby, who is scheduled to stand trial in March, likely faces further delays after a judge allowed her entire defense team to quit. So she's not gonna. Apparently, the bitch was too much for the defense team, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm out." And the judge was like, "All right, you can." So she's getting a whole new defense team, and this is all for a perjury charge, Jack.
Yeah,
she's fighting pretty hard.
Well, she's probably got a lot of other dirt they don't know about.
Oh, I got to show you this. I'm not real sure how this happened. I mean, my DMs are open, but when your DMs are open, Jack, and you get new messages, it breaks them up. Okay. If you send me a message, it goes into one folder. And if somebody I'm not friends with or I've never interacted with before in DMs sends me something, it goes into a different folder. This one came into my main folder. It's a donation drive from Eric fucking Swalwell.
No.
Know your audience, dude. Jesus Christ, I make fun of this guy constantly on Twitter. Yeah, it was my cousin. That's what I meant. Don't really care about that one. We did that. What was this one? Oh, shit. I forgot about this.
According to Tifa Watch, Black Bloc is marching in Portland, of course.
There you go. We're going to have some trash fires at least.
And they are in Seattle marching, too, for this person they probably couldn't name if you asked them to.
Oh, Jack, there were new Twitter files today, and we do kind of need to talk about them. Did you see them today?
Yeah, I glanced at them. I saw your post.
They it doesn't really show. I mean, it shows Twitter in a bad light kind of at the end, but not really. It actually shows the kind of shit that was going on more in the mainstream media. So this is Clint Watts. He was the leader of Hamilton 86 or 68, sorry. Move over Jason Blair. Twitter file exposes next great media fraud. This is from Yoel Roth. Yes, exactly. It's so weird and self-selecting, and they're so unwilling to be transparent and defend their selection that I think we need to call this out for the bullshit that it is. Unlike hashtag release the memo, this one is primarily driven by data from Hamilton 68. I'll do another sweep for spam shortly, but as of yesterday, this looked like the right-leaning hashtag about the shutdown, which only got the label of Russian because of Hamilton dashboard falsely accuses a bunch of legitimate right-leaning accounts of being Russian bots. How we publicly push back on Hamilton is a bigger question, but I don't think there's anything too noteworthy about this hashtag beyond that. First of all, hashtag release the memo was not a Russian bot kind of thing. I was in on hashtag release the memo, Jack. I did a whole stream with Undoomed about that. I made a video about hashtag release the memo, but they wanted it to be Russian, so it was Russian. This one here, what they're talking about is the shutdown and how it was all being blamed on the Republicans because that's what happens. And there was pushback on Twitter about it. And this group, Hamilton 68, decided it wasn't. And I'll put this one on the screen. It's a little bit longer. It's the same stuff. It's these guys, Hamilton 68, running out to the mainstream media and telling them, hey, we have this list of 600 people that are involved in this hashtag, and they're all Russians. They're all Russians. And the people internally at the Twitter machine here were like, what? So they decided to push back, right? Right, Jack? They decided to go out there and put their reputations on the line and say, no, this is a bunch of bullshit.
No.
You're right. They did not. The dashboard was headed by former FBI counterintelligence official and current MSNBC contributor Clint Watts and funded by a neoliberal think tank, the Alliance for Securing Democracy. Who here is shocked that a former FBI counterintelligence official was running a bullshit campaign that all of the media picked up? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? I'm on it with my hip references tonight, man.
Yeah, man. 1985 was your jam.
It really was. I like 1985, although I'm not a big fan of that movie. I don't hate it. It's just kind of meh. So many people love it, and I feel left out because I just don't get it.
Because you have so much hate in your heart.
Meh. The ASD Advisory Council includes neoconservative writer Bill Kristol, former ambassador to Russia, Huh. Interesting. Michael, damn it, get that off my screen. There we go. Michael McFowle, ex-Hillary for America chief John Podesta, and former heads or deputy heads of the CIA, NSA, and the Department of Homeland Security. These are people who were out there telling the mainstream media that they had this list of people who were Russians who were causing this theory or this story about the shutdown. So the shutdown that was all the Democrats or all the Republicans' fault in the media. The only people who were pushing back against the notion that it was the Republicans was 600 bots on Twitter. That's what was causing all the problem. These 600 Russian bots, Jack. These 600 Russian bots. News outlets for years cited Watts and Hamilton's 68 when claiming Russian bots were amplifying an endless parade of social media causes against strikes in Syria in support of Fox News host Laura Ingraham and the campaigns of both Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. Hamilton 68 was a source for stories claiming Russian bots pushed terms like deep state or hashtags like Fire McMaster, Schumer's shutdown, walk away, release the memo, Alabama Senate race, and Parkland shooting, among others. Yeah, the Russians had a big reason to push the Parkland shooting hashtag, Jack. Walk away. That's the one that really jumped out at me here because they were trying to push the narrative that, yeah, Russian bots were the only reason. It wasn't that black people were actually going, you know what? The Democrats have been fucking us for years. Fuck them. Nah, that didn't happen. Did not happen. That was the Russians.
Fucking Russians. Which,
by the way, you can look up and find stories on this shit. Secret ingredient to Hamilton 68's analytical method. I list our analyst is how it should be said for these guys, has linked 600 Twitter accounts to Russian influence activities online. There you go. It's the damn Russians, Jack.
Oh, Russia.
They never released the list, claiming the Russians will simply shut the accounts down. All those reporters and TV personalities making claims about Russian bots never really knew what they were describing. And here's their little methodology. See, you guys, it's them damn plants, them fucking Russians. You know, coming from Bill Kristol, who you can definitely trust. Yeah. Twitter executives were in a unique position to recreate Hamilton's list, reverse engineering it from the site's request for Twitter data. Concerned about the deluge of Hamilton-based news stories, they did so, and what they found shocked them.
Shocked.
Is it? I think it's this one that has it in it. Maybe it is the next one. We produced an extensive description of these accounts during Project Osprey, available here. The findings were generally that these accounts are neither strongly Russian nor strongly bots. They're just generally right-leaning users. Now, I got to be honest, Jack. Some of the Twitter files show that Twitter didn't always just ban people for being right-leaning. Because they could have done it here. Hey, we got a perfect list. That's not to say they never did it. It's not to say they didn't help the Democrats or Adam Schiff specifically. But there are a few times where they push back a little bit. A little bit. Not a ton. Not a ton. Oh, I'll show this other one. I'm not going to read it, but we'll show it on the screen. In an instant like this, like, hey, wait, this doesn't really seem to be the Russians. In layman's terms, the Hamilton 68 barely had any Russians. In fact, apart from a few RT accounts, that's what is that? Russia Today?
Russian Times.
Russian Times, thank you. RT accounts. It's mostly full of ordinary Americans, Canadians, and British. It was a scam. Instead of tracking how Russia influenced American attitudes, Hamilton 68 simply collected a handful of mostly real, mostly American accounts and described their organic conversations as Russian scheming. Twitter immediately recognized these Hamilton-driven news stories posed a major ethical problem, potentially implicating them. And this is what it says. I'm increasingly of the opinion that the dashboard is actively damaging and promotes polarization and distrust through its shoddy methodology. It's toxic from a partnership standpoint. You should have broke it. Should have broke the partnership right there. But you didn't. But my recommendation at this stage is an ultimatum. Either you release the list or we will. It needs to be peer reviewed. Real people need to know they've been unilaterally labeled Russian stooges without evidence or recourse. It's a major problem. Some Twitter execs badly wanted to out Hamilton 68 after Russians were blamed for hyping the hashtag Parkland shooting hashtag. One wrote, "Why can't we say we've investigated and cite Hamilton 68 as being wrong, irresponsible, and biased?" Oh, we know why they can't do that. We know why. It's because while sometimes they were like, yeah, this is wrong to do to conservative-leaning people, I guarantee you if this was liberals, they would have spoke out.
Quite likely, yeah.
I promise you they would have. Yoel Roth wanted a confrontation. My recommendation at this stage is an ultimatum. You release the list or we do, which we already read this part. He's put it in twice. I'm not real sure why. We have to be careful in how we push back on ASD publicly, said future White House and NSC spokesperson Emily Horn. Wonder why she thought we needed to be careful with it. She went to work for the White House when Biden came in. Any thoughts on why she'd want to be careful there, Jack?
It's a mystery.
We need Scooby-Doo up in this bitch. We need Velma in here. Look, that's a real pop reference. We need Velma to get in here with her racist ass to figure this out for us.
Only a brown lesbian can save us now.
Where's Mindy when we need her? I've never needed Mindy.
No, Mindy Kaling's not funny.
I've also been very frustrated in not calling out Hamilton 68 more publicly, but understand we have to play a longer game here, wrote Carlos. I'm not sure. Manje? Sure. The future senior advisor to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Da-da-da.
So the legitimate people, as one Twitter exec called them, never found out they'd been used as fodder for mountains of news stories about Russian influence. Because the Twitter files contained the list, they've been finding out. And then it goes into talk about the people who did find out. I don't care what their statements are. So Twitter never actually did stop this. They never actually came out and told the public, hey, you guys are being called bots because these assholes don't like that you are supporting different hashtags, Jack. Because you retweeted a hashtag.
But hashtags, that's like a Russian op, but deadlier.
Yeah. It's really insane. I'll throw this into chat if you want to read the statements from the other people. It's just, they knew that these people were not Russian bots. They were just actual regular conservatives who were actually looking at these hashtags and go, yeah, I'm going to retweet that. And they didn't do shit. Not a damn thing. So while I can give them a little bit of credit for seeing it, you know what they never did? Stop it. They let it keep going on. And then some of the people involved in that decision went on to work for the White House and Pete Buttigieg. Shocker. And the group who came up with this list is made up of people like Bill Kristol and folks who work for the FBI, CIA, and Homeland Security.
Look, I know we're all shocked by that. That some members of the federal government might have it out for conservatives is totally new revelation. That they're creating some sort of Russian hoax that would probably get us into a war that they seem to have been ginning up for years. I mean, it's shocking. It's shocking that this would
It's
happen.
amazing. Guys, don't remember. Don't forget we're over on Rumble. Please, if you would, give us a like, give us a thumbs up over on the Rumble. And if you have the money and capability and the will, please donate to Jack or myself. Link is at the top of the YouTube chat.
We're poor and I like to eat.
That's probably the best. We should just record that and replay it. I'm poor and I like to eat. The black cops who murdered Tyre Nichols have been fired. Why can't they do this? Fuck off.
Thank you, Frosted.
They do the same to white cops. What the fuck is this bitch talking about? Why can't they do the same to white cops? Don't get me wrong. I think the Memphis Police Department is doing the right thing. But I got to make this about race because I'm a retard.
Hustle, hustle, hustle. Get that dollar bill.
You won't read that in the article, guys. It's in the penumbra.
It is. It's in the penumbra.
The 5 black cops who turned on their own brother.
Why is this team sports?
Because it always is. This is a race thing now, so we got to make it a team sport thing.
That is such a myopic way of looking at things.
You're right, but it's how people see shit. Sorry, who turned on their own brother for the blue should be fired. They murdered a man, a black man. Would it be okay if it was a white guy?
Notice white would not be capitalized.
By beating him so badly, it subsequently led to his death. While the video has not been released, it has now. Remember, guys, the video was just released today. Several of these articles are from a day or so ago. Where are we? Oh. Well, the video hasn't been released. I'm sure it's awful. It actually is.
Yeah, it's awful.
These 5 men, most importantly, took a life. They also learned the hard way that they don't have the complexion for protection.
What?
Sounds like a kid's book. The complexion for protection.
Is she saying they should have protected these cops?
No, she's saying that they wouldn't have been fired if they were honkies.
Oh,
yeah,
that's bullshit too. That's nonsense.
With those videos, yeah, any white cop would have been fired too. Absolutely. They were fired. They were black first, blue second, and they were not backed by their blue brethren. That's because they beat the living shit out of this guy.
Yeah, because they clearly killed this guy. I don't know how you could look at that footage and not think that.
They were fired, not placed on administrative leave, and their names and photographs had been released. Weren't they placed on administrative leave first?
I don't know, but I mean, if I was their chief and I saw that video, I'd fire their asses on the spot too.
Immediately, yeah. The body cam evidence will also be released for Nichols' family to see, as it did not magically disappear. Yeah, that happens all the time. All the time, body cam footage goes missing.
Just look at that George Floyd case where all that body cam footage just. Oh wait.
The video should shine more light, and the family will review the dash cam footage from the 5 fired and disgraced police officers tomorrow. The video must be brutal for the Memphis Police Department to act so swiftly. Well, I thought it was because they were black.
No, she actually got this part right. It
No.
was very brutal footage. I don't think I'd want to see it as a family member.
No. The video, it had nothing to do with how brutal it was. It was because they were black. She told us that already.
Yeah, she seems to be contradicting herself a bit.
Tyre Nichols was only 29 years old and originally from Sacramento, California. He moved to Memphis, Tennessee recently to be closer to his mom. He is described as a kind, God-fearing. You know what? I'm gonna. I don't mean to be rude here, but I don't care about the descriptions.
Mhm.
Even if he was a habitual drug user who liked to bang prostitutes in his spare time, he did not deserve what we saw there.
No.
Tyre Nichols, like so many Black Americans, lost his life because of a simple traffic infraction. Again, no. He was pulled over by Memphis police on January 7th for reckless driving. Cops claim there was an altercation and Nichols ran away from them on foot. That's true.
Yeah, we saw the cop chase him.
The cops eventually took Nichols into custody, kind of, and beat him brutally in the process. True.
Yeah.
Nichols was taken to the hospital after complaining. Could he even complain at that point?
Doubt it. I think they probably saw that he was breathing rather haggardly and then called an ambulance. Or the other cops that arrived on the scene did.
And went, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Nichols was taken to the hospital after complaining he was short of breath. He died less than 3 days later from his injury. 5 police department officers, I don't care about their names. That'll come out in all the other stuff. Memphis Police Department said after its internal review that the 5 officers violated multiple department policies, including excessive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid. This begs the question, why can't the police always do this? Why don't they always fire cops who use excessive force, who murder citizens in cold blood? We know the answer. No. Now imagine how much safer it would be for its citizens if bad apples were removed from the bunch. Oh, shut up.
Well,
Look,
they did just fire 5 of them.
a lot of the times it's not as open as shut as this.
Yeah.
It's not. Now I need to check something.
Well, like
talk for a
Dave just
second?
pointed out, Darren Wilson probably would be in jail if it hadn't been for the witnesses who were all Black and his body cam footage showing Michael Brown attacked him. So, or the dash cam. So that dude would be in jail if it wasn't for honest people saying this guy did nothing wrong. According to the video, the victim stood up while in police control and beaten. They stood him up in this case. What?
He didn't stand up. They picked him up.
Yeah, no, they said that in one of the videos. Remember, he jumped up.
Well, he says according to the video. Are you talking about
the video?
Well, no,
That was
wait.
them.
I'm asking
Oh.
Q. Q, are you saying he stood up on his own, or are you saying the police said that he stood up? Because they picked that motherfucker up.
Yeah, they're clearly holding him.
Yeah, will you just talk for just a moment? I'm sorry.
Jeff said his grandson was chewing on an electrical cord. He's going to get that's going to be a shocking experience for him. He'll get a buzz out of that. They held him as a punching bag. Yeah, they did. People fighting in chat. I don't care about that. Q said he was stood up. Not that he stood up. Yeah, he was stood up. Yes.
Okay, just making sure of that.
Yeah.
That is important. All right, Q. I wasn't. That has to be
clarifying.
Clarified. Yeah. Anyway, so Jack, what else we got tonight?
Monkey. Tons of shit. It's a busy week. I missed yesterday too. That didn't help.
Antifa indicted for targeting pro-life pregnancy center in Florida. Jane revenge attack. It's always nice to have Antifa on. You know, I'm surprised though, man. Why would they be going to a pro-life center? I mean, 2 years later, they'll be dating those kids. All right. Wow, she is a keeper.
Yeah. Look at those two. I mean, Captain Criminal Head Shape and Moo Cow.
Oh yeah,
the
that
tank
dude's touched
division.
kids before.
Hmm?
I said that dude's touched kids before.
He looks like it. He looks like he wandered out of the hills have eyes.
The Department of Justice has indicted 2 Florida residents on charges of a civil rights conspiracy for spray painting threats on reproductive health services and for violating the FACE Act. If convicted, the 2 could face up to 12 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and up to $350,000 fine. They're going to end up with no years in prison, a year of supervised release, and like $1,000 fine. Because I just don't trust our Department of Justice. I really don't. I'm a chubby chaser. Hey, nothing wrong with that. You take the fat ones. I'll take the medium ones. Jack will take the skinny ones.
I'll take the hot ones. Yeah.
The grand jury indictment from the Middle District of Florida alleges that Caleb Freestone, 27, and Amber Smith Stewart, 23, engaged in a conspiracy to prevent employees of a reproductive health services facility from providing those services. How you like that? Bite me in the ass, assholes. That's actually a law that's supposed to keep people from preventing folks from going into abortion centers.
Oh.
2 members of Miami Antifa indicted by the feds for a string of Jane's Revenge-related vandalism targeting pro-life pregnancy centers in 2022. Caleb Freestone and Amber. All right. Amber Smith Stewart are both charged with civil rights conspiracy and violating the FACE Act. You literally just read us the same thing that you put in the paragraph above. Who is this? Who wrote this shit? Hang on a second. Who's my writer here?
It doesn't have a name attached.
I wouldn't attach my name to that either. How dare you? I'm going to blame Andy No because he works there. According to the indictment, as part of the conspiracy, the defendants targeted pregnancy resource facilities and vandalized those facilities with spray painted threats. According to the indictment, you notice that the threats on the these pregnancy centers are turning out to be real, unlike the threats we see spray painted elsewhere.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird, right? I mean, it's odd how that works. It's almost like one side is actually out there making death threats and shit.
Yeah. And they'll probably get eaten by the tank division there.
She is definitely on the front lines when it comes time to stand there and yell.
And go to the buffet.
You know how many people can stand behind her and throw rocks?
Half a dozen.
At least. According to the indictment, as part of the conspiracy, the defendants targeted pregnancy resource facilities and vandalized those facilities with spray-painted threats. Literally what you've told us twice. According to the indictment, Freestone and Smith Stewart and other co-conspirators are alleged to have spray-painted threats. I'm done with this article. I hope they end up in jail for the entire time they need to, but I'm not rereading the same fucking sentence 18 times.
You don't know that.
I do know that. I'm not reading it anymore. I don't know that that's how the rest of the article goes, but I do know I'm not reading it in case that's how the rest of it goes.
Mr. Quitter.
Look, man, online writing is such trash, and I get that they get paid by the word and shit, but Jesus Christ. That was 3 paragraphs of the same goddamn thing over and over again.
Yeah, but when you're paid by the word and there's no constraints on space requirements, why wouldn't they do that? I mean, it's just would make no financial sense to not make it as wordy as possible.
At least change it up. It was the literal same sentence. That's the same wording in each of those sentences. And in one, they said it twice in the same fucking sentence. I'm sorry, guys. The story should be about those 2 assholes out there spray painting threats on, I can't even bring myself to repeat it, on these pregnancy centers. And instead, I'm bitching about their fucking writing style, but I'm tired of that shit. And the bad part is, look, this is post-millennial. They're still up and coming. I can kind of give them a pass for it. We see that same fucking shit in the Washington Post. Writers today suck ass.
Well, they don't have to be good. They've got the right politics most of the time, and some of these people are pretty young. So
I just fucking hate it.
there's so many of these sites that need writers. They really can't be too choosy.
But there's so many writers out there. They could be a little choosy.
They could be, but apparently they're not.
Travis Lewis killed Martha McKay 23 years after she forgave him for killing her mom. Well, you just don't make very good decisions in life.
This is why I don't forgive people.
After her mother was killed in a home invasion gone wrong, Martha McKay was quick to forgive the person responsible. Described by its website as a stately and elegant Snowden house with its marble floor and sweeping staircase, was the perfect setting for a murder mystery. In fact, the grand building situated on the water's edge of Horseshoe Lake in Arkansas, USA, yeah, that needs an A at the end of it, bitch, served as a location for the movie adaptation of one of John Grisham's crime novels. Tragically, though, the home has not just seen fictional murder, but also the real thing. It started in 1996 when Sally Snowden McKay, 75, and her nephew, musician Joseph Lee Baker, 52, were found shot dead inside the historic property. It was understood they disturbed a burglar, and the suspect, 16-year-old Travis Lewis, had shot them in fright. Then why did he ever get out of prison? You murdered two people.
Yeah, well, but he was scared, monkey. He was scared.
He then reportedly set fire to the... there it is. I mean, he's an arsonist, which always gets your charges lowered.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're so scared you commit double murder, first thing you're going to think is burn the place to the ground.
The teenager who had been living with his parents nearby was quickly arrested and charged with the double murder. Despite saying someone else had been involved, on April 7th, 1998, Lewis pleaded guilty to the crime. Tried as an adult, he was handed a 28.5-year jail sentence, of which he had to serve 70%. 28 years for killing two people.
Yep.
Sally's big-hearted daughter, Martha McKay, believed he deserved to be rehabilitated. You know, if rehabilitation was possible for this kid, it was before he shot two people in cold blood.
Yeah.
You maybe you can rehabilitate him as a burglar. Once he crosses that ethical line there, sorry. How do you get tried as an adult? In the United States, the prosecutors can ask that somebody. In some states, you have to be at least 16, and others I've seen it as low as 14 to have you tried as an adult, so that your punishment is the adult punishment rather than. All right, this is a fucked up part of our criminal justice system. A kid kills somebody in cold blood, and they're sentenced as a juvenile, and they go into the juvie system. And when they turn 18, it all goes away.
Yeah, the longest they can hold them is till they're 21 if they're mentally delayed of some kind. But usually what happens is if you have a kid that committed a crime, they do some psychological tests to see if you know the difference between right and wrong, how mature your development is, that sort of thing. And then they'll try as an adult. Sometimes they'll just say, this is such a foul crime, we're charging him as an adult.
And then they charge him as an adult. He spends the first part of his sentence in a juvenile facility, and then they move him on to the prison when he's 18.
Yeah.
According to Crichton County Sheriff, oh, sorry, we missed this. Sally's big-hearted daughter, Martha McKay, believed that he deserved to be rehabilitated. A practicing Buddhist, she forgave Lewis for what he'd done and began writing him in prison. This woman does not make good decisions.
No. I didn't bother to get the full article because I think we pretty well covered what was going on here.
Yeah, that's fine. So then he gets out and murders her. Shocking.
Yeah, she gave him a job and then he killed her.
I know, I'm blown away, like her parents were, or her mom was.
Oh, cold.
I didn't do it. Her little pen pal did. God damn. Stop. Oh. Look, I do think people can change some, Jack. I think a lot of people's circumstances what leads them to some criminal activity. This motherfucker killed 2 people in cold blood. 2 people. And you're like, hi, want to be besties? You dumb bitch.
I don't think I could ever forgive somebody for killing my parents.
Fuck no.
No.
Poker, thank you. Sup, hoes? What up, homie?
Sup, Poker?
Guys, we are brought to you by you. Hit that like button, the share button, and please donate to Jack or myself. Any way you want to. Give me money. All right. Is that how you grift? I'm not good at it. I'm gonna have to reach out to Eliza. Eliza, how do I grift better?
I think you have to get in the music video and shake your booty.
You want to hear something funny about her?
What's that?
She claimed to have one of Epstein's victims that she was trying to take around to different podcasts. And she said, it was hard for me because I had everything had just been handed to me so easily and nobody would let this person on. So it was really hard. So I decided to make my own podcast so victims have a voice. She hasn't done one of those podcasts since April of last year. Apparently those victims having a voice is not all that important.
Well, I mean.
And when she talked about it, she was kind of upset because she didn't have very many viewers at the time. Yeah, it was funny. This is a woman who just jumps from grift to grift trying to get famous. So it would help if you didn't look like one of the puppets from Mr. Rogers. I'm just saying. Alabama mom of 3 violently sucked into plane engine was warned to stay back, according to the National Transportation Safety Board. That was actually kind of a cool story until it got into the plane engine. Alabama mom of 3 violently sucked. I'd watch that.
Yeah, but it wasn't the way you think.
Nope. This is the bad sucking.
Yeah.
An Alabama airport worker who was sucked into a plane engine was pulled in so violently that it shook the entire aircraft. I feel like just being sucked in would do that.
You would think.
I don't feel like you trying to fight it would do anything. You know what I mean?
People were like, hey, get away from there.
Killing her after she had been repeatedly warned to keep her distance. Mom of 3, Courtney Edwards, 34, had been identified as the ground handling agent who was killed in the accident at Montgomery Regional Airport on New Year's Eve. Thank you, Poker. Hopefully this time next year, I'll get a tax credit for all 2023 donations. I hope so.
Yeah. We're not a tax deduction, but, you can try it. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. In the Lifetime movie adaptation, he becomes a lumberjack and they fall in love. Then he stabs her to death. Yeah, Lifetime movies taking a dark twist might actually work for them. People love the murder porn.
Who's the comedian that said for a channel for women, there sure are a lot of women getting beaten on it?
Oh, I don't remember, but I've heard the joke before.
Was that Gaffigan?
Probably.
The report revealed prior to her death, a coworker saw Edwards nearly knocked over by the exhaust from a jet and tried to warn her to keep her distance until the engines were shut down. Oh, we skipped a part. She works as ground handling agent for Piedmont Airlines. Another ground worker on the other side of the Embraer, I guess, E-175 jet had backed away after a pilot leaned out of the window and said the engines were still running. But moments later, Edwards walked in front of one of the engines of the plane carrying an orange safety cone and was pulled off her feet into the operating engine. Yeah, don't go anywhere near a running engine at all.
Especially on a jet. Like, that would be the first thing they teach you as a ground crew. Is like, see that big thing that goes whir? Stay away from it. You'll get sucked in like a bird and go bye-bye.
The co-pilot reported the airplane shook violently, followed by an immediate automatic shutdown.
Was she fat?
It doesn't matter, man. It's something, a human-sized anything going in. Even Eugenia Cooney would shut down their engine, man.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, they get sue her family for damages to the engine?
That would be fucked up. That would be so fucked up. Hey, look, I know your mom died and all, but somebody got paid for this shit.
Well, I mean, they did warn her several times.
I know, and it was dumb to go that close to an engine. I have trouble watching things like there's an episode of Always Sunny where Dee gets on an airplane and Dennis is running by there. He's so close to the engines. I'm like, get away from that. Because you get sucked into one of those things, you're gone. You're just, it's like the best Cuisinart ever. You just stay away from it. No, just don't go near them. Don't go near jets.
Yeah, I mean, they literally call the 15-foot space in front of the engine the ingestion zone.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. Don't go running Native Americans, monkey. I don't get it. I feel like I missed something. I hate when I miss jokes.
Engines.
Oh, I got it. Thank you.
Said I had to explain that to you.
I'm not racist. I don't call them engines. I call them Indians.
No, Indians are from India. Engines are from North America.
Not feather, not dot.
East Indies versus West Indies.
Real
quick. Thank you, Sir Adamantine, for that donation. Appreciate it, man. Jet engines are super expensive. I wonder who had to clean it out. That would be the worst job on the fucking planet, having to go in there, repair that engine, and take all the bits out. Oh my God. Ugh.
You just get a fire hose and spray it in that bitch.
Oh, man.
Who wants a drink from the fire hose? Man, I am all over the pop culture references tonight.
You kind of are. I'm impressed.
Thank you, Frank. Is it wrong this in the last story? All I can think is they got exactly what they were asking for. No, not really. Look, I don't think it sucks that this woman's dead. I'm not happy she's dead, but
no, but
you kind of did it to yourself.
Yeah, this is one of those things, the job safety stuff, where people do not pay close attention to what they're doing, or they get too comfortable on a dangerous job. And just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. It's like people ignoring the safety measures on a lathe and get their shirt caught in it. It is avoidable. You just pay attention to the safety regs at all times.
There are some OSHA rules that are stupid. That's just fact. There's a lot of them that are good. Just throwing that out there. All right. Ukraine rocked by corruption scandal. I'm sorry. I can't finish that sentence. Ukraine rocked by corruption scandal?
If this Ukraine comes as a rock, and just bring tanks. Give us money.
Wave of top officials resign, sports cars, mansions, and luxury vacations as people suffered. Ukraine. Corrupt. Really? Jack, I can't really speak right now. I'm so in awe.
I know. I was shocked too. I mean, it's like they're not accounting for our money or something.
I am rocked to my very core.
To my very core.
Brad says I must be old. I've got every reference so far.
Nice. No, you just
Uh,
are a man of class and refinement, Brad.
That's right. That just means you know the good stuff.
Hey, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. I thought the American Indians were called red men. Well, at least that's what Disney Peter Pan taught me in the amazing song, What Makes Me Red Man Red. Well, there were many terms for American Indians. That was just one of them.
All right, let's move along with this. The Ukrainian government on Tuesday confirmed the resignation of multiple high-ranking officials amid large-scale corruption allegations in what is being called the biggest mass
Keep going, buddy. You can do it. I have faith in you. Keep
I
trying.
don't. I have no faith in me.
Oh, that's quitter talk.
The biggest mass resignation and graft scandal in history. Since the Russian invasion began. Wait. Stop.
In history since the Russian invasion.
Stop.
No.
Okay. That is an important point. The biggest mass resignation and graft scandal since the invasion. Not in history over there. Not the biggest one ever. No.
Not even close.
Just since the invasion, which is only, February of last year?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
So in the last year and a half, the last year, because we're not even to February yet. The invasion was on February 24th, if memory serves. So in the last 11 months, this is the biggest scandal. Well, what about before then? How does it rank in the last 5 years? What about the last 10?
We don't talk about those.
Yeah. We're not supposed to, because when I call Ukraine corrupt, I'm just being an asshole who's out there for Putin.
Yeah, you monster.
Some dozen officials have quit their post after a huge political shakeup over the allegations and probes into cases ranging from bribery, to mismanagement of aid funds for food purchases.
What?
To embezzlement.
Oh, that's not possible.
To driving expensive cars while common people suffer under wartime conditions. These are the people that are getting your money. These are the people that just got 46 billion, that's with a B, dollars of your money. A top presidential advisor and 4 deputy ministers, among these 2 defense officials, along with 5 regional governors, were forced out of their post. And among the regional governors to step down included officials overseeing regions which have seen intense fighting, including, 2 regions where Russian forces have lately reported gains. Yeah, but did you see the cars that they got when they drove away? Did you see how fly they looked as they were driving away? I'm trying to get Hunter to watch the show.
Yeah.
All right. There's nothing to see here. Hang on. I gotta have my cousin make a post for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk for a minute?
Sure. How about that Ukrainian money we're giving him? Good cause, huh? What, no Zelensky retirement? That dude's not going to retire till he has like 5 or 6 billion banked in various offshore accounts. Let's go in the chat. Corruption in Ukraine did exist before the Russian invasion, just like time didn't exist before Trump got into office in 2016. Yeah, basically. You're not wrong. still the second most corrupt in Europe after Russia. Yeah, easily. I bet they're giving the Russians a run for their money.
All right, sorry about that. I had to go be a shithead over there with my cousin's help, of course.
Yes, of course.
Look, man, we've talked so much about how corrupt these assholes are. And we do. We get called Putin plants, and you're on. I wish I was on Putin's payroll. At least then, when I'm being besmirched, I'd be making money. But I'm not. I'm just looking at what's really going on. We've been discussing this for years, Jack.
Yeah.
And just because some people have only started paying attention because of the war doesn't mean these aren't a bunch of corrupt shitheads.
Well, remember, people doubted there would be a war, and we were telling them for months in advance.
Zelensky came out a month before the war and said there will be no war. True story. And people pointed out, hey, Zelensky said, yeah, tell that to Putin, because that's the one that was important at the time.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of troops and equipment right on their border, but not think of invading. You're silly.
It's
You're big
asinine.
sillies.
The Ukrainian government that we put into place is corrupt as shit. Just like the one before we decided to meddle was corrupt as shit. The only difference now is that Biden's son got a job. 3 Colorado libraries closed 2 months due to unhealthy meth levels. What's the healthy meth level?
I don't know. It's sad we know that what a healthy meth level is.
Why is there a healthy meth level? What is this? The Eliza Blue story? I'm all about my pop culture references. 3 public libraries in Colorado have been shut down in the past 2 months after tests revealed unhealthy levels of methamphetamine at the facilities.
Hunter Biden was visiting, eh?
Might have been.
He's on a book tour.
It was you know how they have the trans people reading, or sorry, the not trans, what are they?
Drag Queen Story Hours?
Drag Queen Story Hour, yes. They were having meth whore story hour, and Hunter was their special guest.
He's like, you got any Parmesan, kid?
Why are they checking for healthy meth levels? Were they coming out going, that was a fucking weird day, we're gonna have to check this?
I'm hallucinating. No, it's the homeless.
Absolutely. In the latest instance, the Bemis Public Library in Littleton, about 10 miles south of Denver, was forced to close its doors after a test found meth contamination in the bathrooms. City officials announced no evidence of drug use or paraphernalia. You think the meth occurred naturally?
Yes, it's a rare thing that happens. Some people's bathrooms get like mold. Some basements get black mold. It's a known thing that libraries get meth. It just happens in their bathrooms. No one knows why. It's a mystery for the ages. By the way, the needle exchange will be on Thursday this week.
No evidence of drug use? You found meth, you stupid fuck.
But it's naturally occurring meth, monkey.
Jesus Christ. No evidence of drug use or paraphernalia was found by library staff, but the tests were performed out of an abundance of caution as findings indicate elevated levels of methamphetamine contamination requiring professional decontamination in the bathroom exhaust fans. So you found evidence of drug use?
No, they found evidence of meth, monkey. There was obviously no human connection. Don't you dare blame those sweet, innocent, angelic homeless people.
How the fuck? They were smoking so much meth in your bathrooms it contaminated the fan.
Maybe the fan caused the meth problems. It was not working properly, so it was going backwards, blowing in the meth from outside.
This is fucking retarded. I'm sorry, I can't read the rest of that. All right, but I mean, we got the gist of it anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is homeless people coming into the libraries and smoking meth in their bathrooms. Not an uncommon thing, really, Jack.
No, it's really not. But look, they were just there for the bread.
Well, I mean, bread's important.
It's apparently so is meth in the bathroom.
No evidence of drug. Are you kidding me? How did they write that?
Frosted said they actually saw the reading rainbow and they tasted it too.
Thank God those fans blow outwards. They're trying to get rid of the nasty. Ooh, that mean it was meth shit. That nasty.
No, they would have smoked that.
Guardian newspaper branded institutionally racist as editors accused of attempting to cover up slavery links. Again. Why? This is why we need safe injection sites. No, it's why we need to get rid of the homeless.
I've been advocating that for years, but I'm a monster. Just because I want to clone saber-toothed tigers and unleash them on the homeless areas of the streets and clean up the streets, and then we have big kitty cats that'll help us get cardio in. No, I'm a bad person. Blah, blah.
We need asylums. We need to bring them back. We all know this.
Damn right.
That would take care of a big part of the homeless problem.
Real quickly, thank you, Frank, who says, you see, when the math books fall in love with the chemistry book, you get naturally occurring meth. I hadn't thought of that, Frank. That's a good point. That's
Fair.
why you have to keep them separated until they're 18.
That's fair. That is fair. All right. The newspaper's been working on an editorial project based on connections between its founder, John Edward Taylor, and transatlantic slavery. Hasn't he been dead for a while? I mean, if he had connections to transatlantic slavery, he's probably been dead 100 years at least. I'm just saying. The Guardian has been accused of institutional racism by
There it is. I broke him.
You know, sometimes I read something and it's so fucking stupid. My brain just goes, nope.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I try so hard to find things that'll do that to you, and it doesn't always work.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. You can't put saber-tooths in asylums. Yes, you can.
Don't you tell me what I can do. You're not my mom.
It might be hard to get them back out, but you can put them in there.
They make great hall monitors.
That's what the tranquilizer darts are for. You drag them out till they're ready for the next round. That's all. Where are we? The Guardian's been accused of institutional racism by podcast producers who'd been working with the media outlet on a project addressing its past links to the slave trade. Newspaper's been working on an editorial project. You told me this. 3 producers who worked on a podcast as part of a series complained in writing last year to The Guardian about the treatment afforded to them while working on the project. The individuals, including one award-winning audio producer.
Oh, that matters.
And who gave him the award?
Probably
Jack, I award you with a podcasting award.
Oh, thank you. I'll give you one as well.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Now we've both been awarded podcasting things, so we're award-winning podcasters.
Yeah, clearly.
Fuck me. Sent an email on Monday to a number of professionals detailing their allegations. A number of professionals. So they like randomly send them to people with NBAs working at different companies, or did they send them to news outlets?
I would like to remind you that we are professional podcasters. So
award-winning professional podcasters.
Award-winning professional podcasters. So therefore, these professionals might just be assholes that sit in their house and shout into microphones.
Detailing their allegations after hearing that the Guardian was seeking to finish off the project. Maybe they thought it wasn't worth doing anymore.
Yeah, maybe they realized what a money sink it was to have some loser podcasters that aren't doing anything productive, using up their resources.
I saw that, Frosted. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. This left room for Sorry, I got to back up because that's a retarded sentence. The email seen by Deadline said a key issue was lack of any serious desire from the Guardian to face and interrogate its own historic role, what that has meant for its journalism to date, and what accountability might look like in the future.
See, you didn't supplicate yourself enough and apologize enough, so
accountability for the transatlantic slave trade?
Yeah.
All right.
Supplicate before us.
This left room for microaggressions, colorists, bullying, passive-aggressive, and obstructive management styles.
Microaggressions. This is a waste of money. You're microaggressing me.
It have caused frustration and stress for members of the production team. The institution is now looking for other producers to finish our work and has ignored our concerns. What? That's not a real sentence.
It doesn't have to be. They decolonized it. See, you bigot.
The outcome of this project is that you got fired and they're looking for somebody else to finish it.
Yeah.
Fuck off, you whiny bitch. I'm gonna guess, and I'm just throwing this out there, that any connection that they had to the transatlantic slave trade ended with the transatlantic slave trade ending.
Quite likely. Although maybe they're trying to revive it. I don't know. Maybe they're like, we need to bring this back. I don't know what the Guardian does. They're pretty woke, so it's possible.
Yeah, they got Mindy Kaling. Fuck, I don't care. Kaling. How do you say her name?
Kaling?
Velma on the cover of that paper that they put in here. I really hate her. Is that wrong?
It's not funny. I don't know why a bunch of wine moms find her funny. I don't get it. I've never thought she was funny. She's kind of annoying and she's not attractive, and I think she understands all these things.
Ooh, this is rough. For our final piece of the evening, just to make sure we go out on a happy note, Great white shark decapitates diver in first fatal attack of 2023, according to a report.
Go big or go home, right, sharks?
Wow. A 19-foot. Did he eat it or just decapitate the guy and spit it out?
Maybe we'll find out.
A 19-foot great white shark decapitated a diver earlier this month as he harvested shellfish off the coast of Mexico, reportedly marking the first fatal shark attack this year. The horrific tragedy occurred on January 5th while Manuel Lopez, 53, was gathering axe tripe, a type of mollusk, off Benito Juarez in Sonora on the west coast of Mexico. Tracking sharks reported... that was part of the last sentence. I'm sorry, I missed it. That was a comma, not a period. That's my bad. He was said to have been diving from the town of Paredon, I don't care, to the ocean floor without an oxygen tank to nab the critters, which typically reside at 36 to 59 feet. I don't care about those. His shellfishing expedition was cut short. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Saying it was cut short when he was decapitated, that's kind of fucked up. Yay, I'm number one. Nuts. That's kind of fucked up too. She got a mean streak. He was diving when the animal
said that he got head from a shark.
There you go. I mean, well, the shark got head from him.
They both got head from each other.
He gave the shark head.
Shark gave him some head too.
He was diving when the animal attacked him. You were in the animal's habitat, to be fair. I have never once heard of somebody sitting in the middle of Minnesota getting his head bitten off by a shark while he was at an Olive Garden.
Hey, man, you never know. Land sharks, they're dangerous.
I'm just saying. Keldrick, thank you so very much. January 5th is the only... January 5th is only one day away from January 6th. Coincidence? I think not. This shark is an insurrectionist. Ooh, fair game.
I was gonna go with incel, but yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, impressively ripping off his head. Impressively?
Well, there is an unimpressive way to rip a head off.
Is that really the wording you want to use?
Look, if it was unimpressive, it would have been way more painful for this poor guy.
Impressively ripping off his head and biting both shoulders, eyewitness Jose Bernal told the outlet. The attack follows an increase in local shark sightings that have fishermen in the area on high alert. Local divers have been warned about the presence of sharks in the area, and most had not been out for several days. However, Lopez needed money and saw an opportunity to make a killing. For real?
Yeah, they went there. Real quick, thank you, Firkin. Money for Jack. You're the best man. Keep on rocking. Woo! Also, please tell Monkey to check his money hole. Thanks, dude. That was really generous of you. I appreciate it. That helps a lot.
I'm reloading here. Give me just a second. Yeah, made a killing due to the shellfish shortage. How do we say this?
I say Firkin.
Firkin, thank you. I'm crazy, Monkey. Crazy for the truth. Your words are like drugs to me. By the way, I'm actually Basanova. Oh, hey, Basanova. My student account just ran out. Does this weird lip thing that rock stars do when singing into the mic? Oh, I can do that. Like the Billy Idol thing. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous, my friend. And welcome to the non-student thing.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
It's unclear what prompted the apex predator to attack. There was a giant being going up and down in the water. Where are you? Up to 39, what was it, 39 to 60 some feet down. You're not sure what got the shark's attention?
Sharks are a bite first, ask questions later kind of animal. They're like, that looks like food. I'm going to bite it. Nope, not food. Moving on. That's why they eat tires and shit.
But the shark could have been attracted to the turbulence and sound generated by Lopez while he was harvesting mollusks, tracking sharks. No, he just hated Mexicans. The fuck? Fucking retards. Who writes this shit? Humans are often also mistaken for seals while wearing wetsuits. Really? You think that if this guy was just in some regular old shorts, the shark would be like, nah, bruh, that's a dude. I'm not messing with him.
That's what Big Shark would have you believe. Real quickly, thank you, Keldrake. This article author has a dark sense of humor. I respect it, but it's disturbing. I agree.
Look, I'm okay with his sense of humor. It's kind of fucked up. It's the stupid shit in the article that's bothering me. Like, we don't know why the shark it might have been because he was in a wetsuit. No, I just hated Mexicans, dude. Be honest.
I just wanted to get even because they were stealing his shellfish.
He's an American citizen shark, and he's tired of the border crossings.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Not all sharks are stupid, just some of them. Let's be honest.
Stay home.
Yeah, stay out of the water. Did people ever watch Jaws? I mean, or Orca? Like, don't mess with the killer whale's babies. And don't go in the water because sharks will murder you. And megalodons live down in the deep, dark trenches. Pretty sure that was in a documentary I saw.
Maybe the shark was hungry or bored or hates Mexicans. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff makes a good point. This could have been a white supremacist shark attack.
It might have. Well, it is a great white, right?
Yeah, it's a great white attacking a brown person in black skin.
Mm-hmm.
Think we solved it. Racist sharks.
It never did tell us if he got his head back.
I don't think he was able to look for it.
So the open coffin is going to be a little awkward.
Well, which coffin? The little one for the head or the big one for the body?
Well, the head's probably still in the shark, so they're gonna have to use a pumpkin.
I was talking about the movie The Meg Adorkable. Don't overanalyze the jokes.
Guys, we are gonna.
They're not worth parsing. They're really not.
Yeah, a lot of times our jokes don't actually make sense if you dig into them. Don't dig.
Yeah, don't look at it too close because I watch a lot of Jason Statham movies, and that's where I get my knowledge of megalodons and transporting people.
This it's surface level, just surface level.
Everybody puts more thought into them than I do.
Pirate says we're going to hell for this. We didn't write that story.
We didn't write this. I feel bad for the guy's family. I mean,
Oh, me too.
that's a horrible way to go, but at least it was memorable and not like, I slipped on a banana peel and broke my neck. At least this guy had like a cool story. Like, oh, Grandpa Earl, man, he got his head fucking bit off by a shark.
If it bit his head off, I mean, unless he had to, it took like minutes. Probably really not that bad for the guy. Scary at first, and then
Nothing.
6 seconds, right?
Yeah, at most.
6 seconds without oxygen, and the brain's like, nah, bro.
We're out. Yeah, I really do feel bad for the guy. That's a shitty way to die. But again, it is very memorable. It'll be family legend for generations.
I can't wait for the movie.
It'll be a short film.
No, they will drag this shit out, and that'll be like the last. That'll be at the hour and 10-minute mark, and then you'll have 20 minutes of everybody sitting around talking about how much Jose. It's ironic that he lost his head because he had a hot temper.
Oh yeah, or he got scared. No, what they're gonna do is they're either gonna make this boring like Open Water, which was based on a true story. I mean, I saw Bush in the first 5 minutes. That's how you know the movie's shit. So that movie sucked. Or they're gonna give it to Tiki Watiki and it'll be a wacky comedy.
I would watch this as a wacky comedy. I really would.
That dude is not funny, man.
No, look, not with him, but somebody else, right? And they do a Weekend at Bernie's thing with this guy, and you know how they have to do the little puppet thing? They also have to have a little paper behind him that has his face on it because his head's gone.
Oh, no, even better. The shark pretends to be him with the paper face on.
Yes.
So, because the guy was going to close a real estate deal or some big thing, and his friends need him there. The shark felt really bad about it. And they get the cartoon shark that talked like Curly. What was his name? From the 70s.
Curly from.
He talked like Curly from the Three Stooges.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, the shark.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, so they'll do one of those, and he'll be like, whoa, 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 Jabberjaw, thank you. Yeah, it'll be a Jabberjaw live-action movie based on this story, and he'll be impersonating this poor guy until such time as he's made up for it by signing whatever deal. I would watch that.
Look,
but they won't do it that way.
I think this shark should immediately sign a deal with Head and Shoulders shampoo.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end there. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for putting up with our nonsense. Remember, we are on Rumble if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Rumble, we are on YouTube. It's Ranting Monkey anywhere you go, including over on Twitch, where I will be shortly. Thank you for watching. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are so kind to us, and we really do appreciate it. Jack, anything you want to chill out?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos. As always, thank you so much for the donations. They're very, very helpful. And you guys are awesome. And we're glad you come out night after night. Really are.
Twitch.tv/Ranting Monkey. Be over there in just a little bit playing some more Anno. I think we might be able to save this playthrough. We'll see. It's been interesting. I've spent most of my time with negative money coming in, Jack.
Oh.
Luckily, you can go off and do like adventures or you can sell shit. I made a ton of money selling soap to the prison. That's a joke they put into the game. You can make a lot of money selling soap to the prison. So I'll be over there, and Mesh says income is going fine now. It's really not, because it goes from like plus 300 to minus 1,000. We'll see what happens. Twitch.tv/ranting monkey. Be over there in just a little bit. Thank you guys for hanging out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Hang on. I have not had decent sleep, so I keep yawning. I apologize for that, guys. It's the end of the show anyway.
That show hasn't ended because you haven't sung.
No, not yet. Not yet. I was just going to say, Alexa, open the door. Everybody, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Now the show's over, because I'm singing a song. If you ever saw my penis, you'd say, my God, that is long.